Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. Two minutes. Man. Share the live out. We'll start in about 2 minutes. Let brothers and sisters get up in here. Share the live out real quick. Shalawam, Yahawashi, Barak. Man. Alright, facing the east, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. The true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah means He is, He exists. All right, that's the true name of the Father. Bahasham, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning the, Sham meaning name. So in the name, Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yah, once again, meaning He. Hawashi meaning to save or to deliver. So He delivers, He saves, He is salvation. And then Bahasham in the name, once again, Rakam, which means spirit, and Kadash, which means holy. So a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. All right? And that's what we understand. In the Paleo Hebrew, the true names that we have, that's been given to us, okay? The proper language, the purest form of language that you can speak. All right? The language that will be spoke in the kingdom. All right? So it's it's best when you come and call upon your power that you call upon Him on the proper language and the proper tongue. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Nothing else. Not Yahweh, not Yeshua, not Yahuwah, not Yahosha, not Jehovah, not Jesus. None of those wacky-tacky names that have been given to you by colonizers. All right? Now this lesson will be entitled, It Is Not Up to You. Okay? So it's ultimately, we understand that this thing of ours is not up to us. All right? We wasn't, we didn't, in a sense, choose to come into this thing. We were forced, right? By by a lot. All right, really by the Spirit. It's brothers could recall when they first came into this thing, and when you first heard it, and you just like, yo, that's it. That is just like a light bulb went off. That's it. That's what I've been searching for my entire life, right? So it's that as we say, resonate. Let's get that word. Resonate, and play it.
Resonate.
Produce or be filled with a deep, full, reverberating sound. I probably said that wrong. Okay. Or to produce electrical or mechanical resonance. And what is electric? I know that's used for a different term, but electricity is symbolized as life. You were, as the Bible says, the scriptures say, you were quickening. So you were brought to life. So when this thing was given to you, you were made alive, man. And that's extremely important. Let's go to Romans 8:11. But if the spirit of him that raised up Yahawashi from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. So that life has been forced into you, man. You left the congregation of the dead and came into the congregation of the living. All right. At the end of the day, somebody got a question. He said Shalawam Ak, and Ak is AHCH. Okay, it's not AHK. But are we allowed to use natural oils to groom our beards? I mean, I do. I don't see why not. Okay. I would use natural oils. I use coconut oil. I use olive oil for my hair and my beard and all of that. So yeah, I don't. There's nothing in the scriptures going against that. So yeah, most definitely, bro. You could use natural oils. Natural is, hey, if Most High created it, that's good, right? You know what I'm saying? The Most High created it. Yahawah created it. It's all good. All right. All right, brother got some precepts. Come on, let's get them. Jeremiah 10:23. And before I go over there, I want to get that word quicken. Quicken, which means to produce alive, begat or bear, living young, to cause to live, make alive, give life, by spiritual power to arouse and invigorate, to restore to life, right? Being brought back, to give increase of life, thus of physical life, of the spirit quickening, as respects the spirit endured with new and greater powers of life, right? Of seeds quickening into life, germinating, springing up, growing. So you blossomed, you bloomed into this. You came into your new man. You changed. You went from that what is it? Caterpillar. Now you're a butterfly, man. All right? So you change. You've had a transformation, a metamorphosis, right? So it's extremely important to come into this thing and be alive. Now, that is not of your own power. As we know, before we get those precepts, let's go to John 6. And let's start at 41. The Jews then murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Yahawashi, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven? Now, you're going to encounter that with those that you grew up around, right? Those that knew you as a kid, that saw you as a baby, that knew you in high school, knew you in elementary school, middle school, whatever it be. All right? Hey, you, what's the name, son? Okay? You nobody special, right? You grew up in the same town that I grew up in. But what? You were quickening. You were made alive. So it's not, you didn't know you was going to be in this position. You didn't know. All right. Verse 43, Yahawashi therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. So don't, these people going to complain. These people going to talk. They're not going to believe you. Okay, whatever. They don't have to. It's not for them. All right. No man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. So the same way that you were drawed, the same way that you was pulled and made one of Yahawashis, right? That's the same way these individuals will be drawed if they are of that. If Yahawah deems for them to wake up. He does not deem for everybody to wake up. So you have to have that understanding when you are dealing with individuals out here, man. And that goes back to the lesson. This is not of you. You know, this is not of you. This is of the Spirit, man. This is of the Father. This is of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to wake a person up if he see fits for them to wake up, if they were ordained from the foundation of the earth. So brother got Jeremiah 10 and 23. Let's get that. O Yahawah, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. Perfect. Pertaining to the lesson, because it's not of us to walk and direct our steps. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, sometimes you may, like that Moses lesson I did this morning, man. You know, I stumbled on, because we talked about it a couple months ago. But last night, I was just up studying, up reading, and going through stuff. And I stumbled upon those little documentaries. And I was like, man, this is a perfect lesson because it's archaeological evidence. So, boom, it was like burning in my soul to do that. Now, who allowed me to turn on the YouTube and actually go to that? Who put that documentary on my YouTube page? Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? You know, who brought that to me? Who showed me this and showed me that? It's not by coincidence. Nothing is by coincidence. Okay? You got to understand that, man. It's the Father of spirits is controlling everything. All right? Down to your TV, down to your single. If you blink, he's controlling that. If you don't understand that, then you really don't understand who you're dealing with. All right? Verse 24. O Yahawah, correct me, but with judgment, not in thine anger, lest thou bring me to nothing. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name, for they have eaten up Jacob and devoured him and consumed him and have made his habitation desolate. Right? So we constantly say all you can really do is pray and fast and direct your and try to serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to the best of your ability. That's all you can do. Pray, ask him to continue keeping the Holy Spirit on you, to continue dealing with you, because this is not of you, right? This is of him. You belong to Yahawashi because the Father allowed you to belong to Yahawashi. He gifted you to Yahawashi. So this was never of you. You are simply a gift. You are a possession. You belong to somebody, you know? So start looking at life like that for you if you sincere and you serving Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Jeremiah 1 and 5, perfect. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Right? So with that being said, let me get a precept in the Apocrypha. What's that? Sirach 17 and 10. And the elect shall praise his holy name. So you have a sanctified group of men, right, and remnant, men and women and children, right, in general, that are going to praise the holy name. That's already ordained from the beginning of time, from the beginning of creation, from the foundation of the earth, before the earth was even laid, before the waters were separated, before the moon was placed into the sky and the sun was made to rise from the east. All right, you have an elect that will praise his holy name. So those individuals, as in Jeremiah, being an elect, all right, are sanctified before they even was placed into their father's, you know, placed into their father and then pushed into their mother and incubated for 10 months and then came out with the sound of crying. Okay? So these individuals are sanctified and they are ordained with their specific gifts. Some may be prophets, some may be ministers, some may be exhorters, some may be teachers, some may be healers, right? All these different type of gifts, you know? So you can't really change your lot. All you can do is really pray about your lot. Hey, I pray that I'm not a 2/3. I pray that I'm one of your chosen. I pray that I'm at least in the 1/3. I pray that you deal with me. I pray that you continue to deal with me. I pray that you protect. It's a begging. Brother Kakama always put it up. The definition of prayer is to beg. So we are begging, man, because you're in a position of vulnerability. All right? So this is not of you. Once again, go to get that Psalms 139, verse 23 to 24. And it reads, search me, O power, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. And that's it. That's the prayer. Ask him to search you. Ask him to clean your flaws. Right? This is not of you. You let's say you don't be in a sense like a Nathaniel or Johanna or these guys that's self-willed in the sense where they feel like they have to go and collect all the 144,000 on their own ability. That's not what we're commanded to do. No, we commanded to go in the highways and hedges, all right, and preach and teach. If you doing that, you producing your lessons, you living correctly, you living properly, to the best of your ability, man, you serving Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, bro, that's it. You know, you showing brotherly love, all right, you fellowshipping, that's it. What more? Come on. Okay? You're not supposed to be traveling all over the planet and teaching the gospel. No. We don't have the means to do that. We don't have the resources to do that. All right? You know, shoot, some of us barely could pay our bills. But I'm supposed to travel to Africa and teach? No. All right? The Most High is giving you a position, and he knows what you can do in that position. All right? So he's not unfair. Okay? So just preach the word, man. Just teach. All right? Don't try to, we're not doing this for trophies, man. Okay? I'm going to just keep getting the precepts. John 15 and 16. And it reads, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. These things I command you, that you love one another. So once again, you didn't choose this thing. Going back to the title of the lesson, this is not of you. You didn't choose to serve Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? It was already ordained in your spirit, in your soul. You already had that placed in you, man. You know, this is why we got morals and values and integrity, man. That's the elect. So even in the world, we wouldn't do certain things. We might commit certain sins. Yeah, we all sin. We all went off. But it's certain things we probably would never do just because of that position. All right? Praying that we be of the election. You know? So you've been set up in a situation where, like, man, we hate it so much where we want to leave, but we can't take our life. I know that's not even an option. You understand it? But we hate this place to the point of where we don't want to be here anymore. So we have to deal with the vexation. We have to deal with the demons, everything that we see around this. Man, I was in Walmart yesterday, bro. I saw this dude that thought he was a girl. And I was, bro, man, I don't even want to talk about it. All right? The shit was weird. I saw a lot of strange ass things. I saw a BBL. Bro, me and my wife saw that shit, started laughing, man. You know, it's just obnoxious. It was just fake as hell. Like, no. And she was down Northern Kingdom, Latino chick. She was actually alright in the face, but the BBL messed her whole body up. I was like, yeah, why'd she do that to herself? You know? So you're seeing, and all I said, man, this is Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what this is. Okay? You can see it clearer every single day. This is that place. This is spiritually Sodom. All right? You go somewhere, a heavily populated place, you're going to see a couple TSs. You're going to see a couple Mo's. You're going to see that type of behavior going on. You're going to see an ultimate, disregard of the Father's law. That's what you see in this place. It's a melting pot of wickedness. All right? If you can't understand that, then you probably are aligning with it. You probably like it. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going. Psalms 37:23. And it reads, the steps of a good man are ordained by Yahawah, and he delighteth in his way. Khan, this is not of you. The steps of a good man, a righteous man, are ordained by the Most High. Wow, because let's go to Proverbs, the 16th chapter. The preparation of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from Yahawah, right? All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Yahawah weigheth his spirit, the spirits. Commit thy works unto Yahawah, and thy thoughts shall be established. So if you work to make your ways all about the Most High, the things that you think about, your thoughts, your ways, your studies, what you meditate on. All right? You don't just do lessons. Don't just wing it and do stuff out of nowhere. You meditate on something. You think on it, right? You think on it. You what's the word? You reminisce or recollect what's going on in your life and pull from experiences and apply the scriptures to that and apply it to the lesson. You know, you should be at the end of the day or even in the middle of the day, you should be examining your day like, hey, I could have handled that situation better, or I could have boom, 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 right? You know, I could have applied this, I could have applied that. As a wise man, you should be a thinking man. You know, you should actually be applying yourself and thinking and moving in a correct way. You know, it ain't like today, man. I think I've been a little too harsh on my wife. I would say that I've been a little mean, but I'm examining that self. I'm examining myself with that and understanding it and acknowledging it. You know, so it's about accountability, right? You're not always right, Jake. You're not always right. Sometimes you could be an asshole. Sometimes you could be mean. Sometimes you might be fucking up. You might need a rebuke. You might need a correction. You might need a reproof. You know? But a wise man you're gonna fix that before it gets out of hand. You know? You're gonna check yourself. So that's extremely important, man. And ultimately, you pray that prayer, Yahawah, try my reins, right? Test me, cleanse me of the flaws that I have, that I don't even know about. All right? So ultimately, that's faith, trusting in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Now, verse 4, Yahawah hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Pray not to be of that lot, because everything on this earth has a purpose. Going down to the cockroach, man. All right? When you start to look at life, you sit back and look at it. I put up all my stuff in my garden because it's past that time, you know, stuff is dying and all that. But when it was summer and when it was spring, you had the bees, they come and mess with the flowers. They pollinate and get all that, and then they go. And it's just the order of things that I love. It's beautiful. You have a whole little ecosystem in my backyard. I got it's like ant colonies. You got these two big spiders that be eating the ants. You know, I got a locust out there. Bees come from time to time, you know, and it all balances itself out. The spiders eat the ants, the spiders eat the bugs, the flies, all this type of stuff in the garden. It balanced. It's furthermore showing you that this whole world was created in an ultimate balance. And it's peaceful when you really look at it. It's a beautiful thing, man. You know? And I love it. I love, like, even though we in the lowest kingdom, it's still, when you go to nature and you examine it, it's just beautiful, man. Go to the ocean. Look at how the waves, you know, we talk about this all the time. The waves can't penetrate past the sand. That right there is showing you that the Most High is working. That right there is showing you the order that's set up. Right? All right. Let me see. Any more precepts? Brother God, what you got? Jeremiah 20:9. Let's get that. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name, but his word was in my heart, as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. I remember in the world, man, it was a time where I renounced Jesus. All right? And no, I know now ain't no damn Jesus, right? That's Cesare Borgia Serapis Christos. But I was like, man, nah, it ain't no Jesus. So I was about to be a damn old Torah only dude, all right, at some point. But then that shit didn't slide. I knew it was a king, and I I ultimately took that spirit off myself. But that was the Most High, you know, so he could place you in a crazy ass spirit. He could place you in a crazy level of hell, man, a place where you can't even get out of. But if through his mercy, he'll bring you out of it if he wants to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, he led me to the truth. He brought me into this thing. And the Wadi Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, I can't say that enough. You can't say that enough, man. The scriptures say you can't praise him enough. It's forever. When I pray, I tell him I'm going to praise you forever. Please allow me to serve you forever. That's a prayer you should be putting. If you're not, put that in your prayers. Please allow me to serve you forever. All right? It's never a point where we're not going to be under Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? So this is a forever thing. We are going to live forever, and we are going to serve the Father and the Son forever. I just want to be a great servant to him. You know? You should have that mindset. All right, keeping it going, Brother Cockmug, you know, got the precepts. John 5:30. Let's get it. I can of my own self do nothing. What's the lesson title? This is not of you. Nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Father which have sent me. Let's go to that Ephesians 5th chapter, man. That right there. And I was getting it the other day. You got to seek the Father's will. Where is it at? Where is it at? Right here, verse 17. As a matter of fact, we're going to start at, to jump back on the point of quickening, we're going to start at 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. So this is not of you. Hamashiach placed that light in you if he woke you up. He allowed you to come back into the land of the living. All right? See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Now, it would be wisdom to know, you know, bro, you're not going to really measure the times diligent. To see that, hey, this whole thing is falling apart. DJT is taking apart the CDC right now as we speak. He's fired over 70 people at the CDC. So, you know, a whole wing of it that would alert you to pestilence, to disease, flying rampant on the loose. Now you're not going to get those warnings. If you notice earlier this year, they took it where you know, the weather channel and the weather division really is not going to be announcing certain major hurricanes and things of that nature. Now you still got local, you know, weather people like that, but they're taking the alert and the alarm system away from you. And that goes with famine of the word, and that goes with this entire system breaking down, where the cops will no longer be there for you. You will no longer get that warning, in a sense. This is what America is turning into. All right? It's going to be ultimately a war, man. Okay? This is going to be an arena. Ah, that's a lesson, man. This is going to be an arena. The arena of America. All right? Don't nobody take that. I'm copyrighting that. The arena of America. All right? So that's what this place is turning into. All right? It's going to be, man, it's going to be beautiful, though. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. So measuring the time and understanding that the days are evil ahead of you. The keepers of the house are trembling, Ecclesiastes 12, right? They're in fear because they know the prophets are back on their feet and they know they have but a short time. So they're coming down with great wrath, right? And this is not of you. You just been fortunate to be brought back at this point in time. And we always say, what a time to be alive, right? To be brought back at this point in time where all the prophecies are fulfilling themselves. So this is ultimately what you've been waiting on all your existence. Ever since we got kicked out of the garden, this is what we've been waiting on. Salvation. To be put back in that glorious estate, that temple that never perishes. You know? 17. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahawah is. Now, with that being said, the will of the Most High sometimes may not be to bring an individual into the truth. We had an individual we dealt with the other day, and we, he really couldn't get it. And I was like, all right, buddy, it seems like your time here is come to an end, but the brothers wanted to deal with him a little bit more. All right, y'all got him, cut him up, but I could tell, bro, after about 10 minutes talking to the individual, he was done, right? So ultimately, in those type of situations, I'm looking at it like, yo, what's Yahawah's will right here? Okay, after 2 admonitions, Titus 3 and 10. Okay, Yahawah's will is for this dude not to get it because he's giving him a spirit of slumber, right? So ultimately, you want to side with Yahawah's will. You want to examine and you want to be like, okay, this dude ain't got it, and keep it moving. Let me keep it going. All right, question. I'm new, bro. What's your beliefs? The Bible, 100%. The Bible, the King James Bible, 1611. That's the beliefs. All right, that's it. Okay. And y'all having a whole conversation? What else? So y'all Hebrew Israelites. Yes, that's a nationality. Yes, indeed. All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Hebrew Israelites. All right. Oh, Salaki, I didn't know the chart wasn't like that. One second. All right, that's better. Man, that brother got a lot of questions. But, back to it. This is not of you, Yeah, the Most High sends forth strong delusion to those that have a pleasure in evil. Yeah, and most people believe that they're good. They come with that thought that they're good because they may donate to the church, they may give charity, they may donate to the homeless, and those things aren't considering and putting you in a position of being good. Okay? None of us are good. We all sin. We all go off. We all fall short. Right? This is what the Son told you. Nobody's good except my Father in heaven. So you have to understand that. Stop moving according to how the world deem goodness is and start moving according to what the Bible, the scriptures say a righteous individual is. And that's love, which is keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. Okay? So that's how you get into the kingdom. That's how you correct yourself and repent and convert and come back into the culture and come back into the customs. All right? And you, first and foremost, you got to be an Israelite, okay, to even be given an opportunity for salvation, okay? So none of us are good. We all fall. We all fall short, you know? You said, why only King James? Because the 1611 Bible, matter of fact, let me go get this that my brother has sent the other day. Where is it at? Where is it at? Because this was perfect. Right here. Dang, was it this page? But they ain't. Must have been another page. Must have been another page. Salaki. Dang, what page you send it on? Hey, the water Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, my brother Dog Barak sent me this. This is solid. So let's read this. Okay? When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James I, who had been king of Scotland for 37 years. As James VI, several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocrypha. Now you have to ask yourself that question. What is the Apocrypha? Right? The Apocrypha is actually canon. Okay? So 2 of the groups met at Oxford, 2 at Cambridge, and 2 at Westminster. When a group had completed its task, its work was submitted to 12 men, 2 from each panel. Final differences of opinions were settled at a general meeting of each company. In cases of special difficulty, learned men outside the board of advisors were consulted. Marginal notes were used only to explain Hebrew and Greek words to draw attention to parallel passages. Now, this is letting you know you need to go into etymology of words, because this is what was taking place. All right? Keeping it going. Italics were used for words not found in the original, but necessary to complete the sense. So it was very diligent. Okay? King James established a diligent search through these scholars. Now, before that, the Bible was not really accessible to the public like that. Okay? It was only for the rich. Okay? So, and yes, indeed, the Apocrypha is canon, because the Apocrypha is in the 1611 KJV, right? So the 1611 KJV was the first Bible to really be accessible to the public in a massive amount, you know? And King James made sure it was done correctly, not because people would talk about, well, the Geneva Bible came in 15. Yes, it did, but the Geneva Bible was extremely rational. It was extremely with political things in mind to cause a revolution or a revolt. All right? It wasn't more so word for word. The King James is word for word. All right? Now, you would have things like the Bible Destruction Group and the Protestant Bible, which would be 66 books that would come later on, 1700s, 1800s, that would take the Apocrypha out of the Bible, and that would also insert the name of Jesus in the Bible. Okay? So that just goes with research. So when we say King James only, and yeah, we use different translations, keep that understood, but KJV is the most accurate. And King James is indeed an Israelite of the Southern Kingdom. Okay? All right. Yeah, bro, but like I just stated, King James is the most accurate, word for word. All right? At the end of the day. Okay? Because certain other translations, they go off at certain points. All right, now let's continue, man. Let's continue the lesson. And once again, the lesson is entitled, "This is not of you." Okay? So I want to go to Ephesians. Let's read this one more time. "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahawah is. So at every single moment, man, you got to be observing and thinking and applying the scriptures to what you're going through and being like, okay, what would the scriptures say pertaining to this, right? Apply it, okay? What's the Father's will here? What's supposed to happen, right? Maintain yourself with patience, with understanding, with wisdom. Don't get flustered. Don't be haste, right? So let's go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter, and actually Ephesians, the 1st chapter. And let's start at the top. Paul, an apostle of Yahawashi Hamashiach, by the will of power, to the saints which are of Ephesus, and to the faithful in Hamashiach Yahawashi. Grace be to you and peace from power our Father and from Yahawashi Hamashiach. Blessed be the power and Father of Yahawashi Hamashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Hamashiach, according as he have chosen us in him, keyword, chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. Okay? So understanding that this is not of you. Individuals have been chosen before the foundation of the world, as we stated earlier, man. All right, hey Kakama, you can just get anybody talking crazy, get them up out of here. Okay, we ain't got no time for that shit. All right, verse 5. Having predestinated us into the adoption of children by Yahawashi Hamashiach to himself according to the good pleasure of his will. So, the Father's will. Let's go to predestinated, right? Predestinated is to predetermine, decide beforehand, right? Power decreeing from eternity, to foreordain, appoint beforehand. The same way that we brought out Jeremiah 1 and 5, Jeremiah was sanctified and before, the Father said, I already knew you. I sanctified you to be a prophet. I already ordained for you to go into that position. Okay? So let's get up another precept, because none of this is of you. 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. For power is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Now, let's look at a Christian mindset real quick. You think that you're just born and you got free will and you just down here dilly-dallying and you're just doing whatever you want to do. No, that's not how it is, man. You come down here with a purpose. Even your unaliving is set up with a purpose. You are given a sentence, and it's a time period, all right? You have to live out that sentence, okay? The Father is not an author of confusion. So while an individual such as a 3-year-old may get unalived in the street, you may think it's an accident, but nothing is by coincidence. It's judgment. That's what we understand. That's what the scriptures speak of. Judgment. That sentence had to be carried out, right? It was already ordained, okay? So when you look at a judgment like that and you sigh and cry, right? That ain't have to happen to that baby. That ain't have to happen. Well, hey, it actually did have to happen, because who ordained it? The Most High ordained it, right? Before that baby was even born, the judgment was already given. You understand? And this is the empathy and sympathy that this world has placed on our people. This is why you can't really fathom what's really going on down here in this land. So you look at these spiritual matters with a carnal eye, and you'll never understand it like that. All right? Brother got Daniel 12 and 13. Let's get it. And it reads, but go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. So Daniel had to come back and stand in his lot at the end of the days, right? And even before that, he had to be reincarnated, regenerated, okay, at different time periods. Now, we can't really prove it, but I believe myself, as speaking as a man right now, that Daniel was Joseph. Okay? Now, this is just something that I got in my mind because I've been watching Joseph and studying that and the way that he was good with dreams and things of that nature, being in that captivity and all of that. All right? But we wouldn't know until we're in the kingdom and that knowledge is given to us. Okay? But you do have individuals that come back and they stand in similar lots, right? Such as Elijah being John the Baptist. Now, we know this because Yahawashi spoke it out of his mouth, okay? Peter being King David. We know this because of the scriptures and Peter being that rock, the head of the church, okay? Not the head, but the one to the king, in a sense, right under Yahawashi, okay? He was given that position. So every time King David came back, he was given that position, such as Moses, such as a Jacob, such as a Abel, such as a Seth, all right, a Zerubbabel, all right? So these positions were given to him, were bestowed upon him because that's his lot, all right? As the brother said, everyone is in their lot in life, the wicked as well as the righteous, kind. And we read Proverbs 16:4 to let you understand that the righteous were created and the wicked were created, both with a purpose. Your purpose does not change, okay? Whatever your purpose is, ordained, is your purpose forever, until the day of the Yahawah is coming, okay? When the day of Yahawah comes and, hey, Yahawah, we go up into chariots and our bodies is changed and the wicked suffer their punishment and their judgment, then they will come back and they will actually be okay because they will get everlasting bodies and they will be, raised up. They will come from the loins of a 144,000 man or 1/3 man. So they will actually be in a righteous sense, in their right mind. This is why we say when the 2/3 get in their right mind, because right now, a lot of our brothers and sisters are not in their right mind. They're full of wickedness. They're full of evil. They hate the scriptures. They hate the Bible. They hate the Father and they hate the Son. They want to serve Kemet. They want to serve Egypt. They want to serve Buddha. They want to serve, all these other fake religions and make these false gods, man. Okay? So our people are not in their right mind. Even calling on the name of Jesus, you're not in your right mind. It's a simple Google search to see that the letter J was created in 1524. So that name Jesus was beaten to you in the 1600s when you got over here on them slave ships. Or if you was already over here in Northern Kingdom, it was beaten to you after they took your land and they placed churches with crosses on the top of them in your area. And they gave you that Jesus. This was forced upon you with pew-pews, all right, and an ass whooping. This wasn't what we used. This ain't proper, man. This is not our heritage. This is not our religion, okay? Now, we are a religious people because we do keep feast days. We do keep practices. We do live a certain way, all right? So we most definitely are religious, but we never worship no damn Jesus Christ, man. All right? Yeah, and people don't get it because Romans 11:8, that spirit of deep sleep, that spirit of slumber is upon them. All right? So, going back, matter of fact, since a brother brought that out, let me get Revelations 10 because it always come to my mind with that one. This is John the Revelator, 10 and 11. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Now, if you understand that John the Revelator was in his 90s on the Isle of Patmos at this point in time, man, okay? He was not about to go and prophesy to many nations and kingdoms again. So this would let you know that he had to come back in a different lifetime, a different life, all right? Regenerated, reincarnated, okay? And not how you look at it like with witches, like getting the hair of somebody and summoning up. No, man. Okay, you go to the spirit world, you sleep with your fathers for, you rest, you sleep there for about 75 years or 100, 3 generations to 4 generations. A generation is considered to be 25 years. So 3 generations will be 75, 4 generations will be 100. So between that time period, you are going to be sent back down here. You already got your sentence based upon your deeds, based upon what you did down here. So you will get your sentence. So that will determine your lot, all right? And not your lot, but that will determine your judgment in a sense, all right? So you're going to live that sentence like an individual goes to court, because this is what this is. This is court, all right? If you understand that. You set up with laws, commandments, and statutes, okay? You break this, you go to court, boom. You get judged off of that. We die from the wages of sin or death. So understanding that, the laws, commandments, and statutes tie to your life or your death. If people actually understood that more, then they would live a different type of way, because they know that every idle word shall be judged. Everything that you do down here is being judged. All right? The ways that you live are being judged. And therefore, a sentence will ultimately be applied. So let's say you did all this wickedness, you get 20 years. Boom. You got to live that out, man. Okay? No, Yahuwah and Yahusha are not true. Okay? What's your name? Uraja? All right? So you're being judged. Don't mute him. You ain't have to mute him. You're being judged for calling upon a false name. Now, brother, if you are sincere, I would advise you to look up when the letter U was created. All right? It was created around the 1400s. It came from the V. It was no U in the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kadash. Okay? And then it was actually published around the 1600s, 1700s. So with that understanding, you would understand that the Father's name and the Son's name is not no Yahusha or Yahuwah. It can't be. It's impossible. All right? No, that does not mean anything, because that is Yiddish, my guy. That is false Hebrew. Okay? Did you hear what I just told you? That the letter U was created around the 1400s. Can anybody else hear me? I'm saying, I'm asking, yo, am I speaking to a wall? Thank you, King Riggs. He heard me. Okay? Free Brew heard me. All right? All right, so Uraja, man. Hey, we can see that you're not in the right spirit. Once again, you must be one of our brothers that's not in their right minds. Okay? So, I'm going to just get you up out of here, bro. I'm going to just mute you. You can stay around if you want to. But we're not here to debate. We're not here to be contentious. And I'm not here to go back and forth. As we was talking about, what's the Father's will? The Father's will is for you not to know his name. You see? I discern that. I'm getting good. I'm getting a little bit good at this. I discern that the Father don't want you to know his name. Okay? But the Isle of Patmos is a Greek island in the Dodecanese archipelago. I can't talk today. Archipelago in the Aegean Sea, famous as the location where St. John the Apostle was exiled and wrote the book of Revelations, where Yahawashi came and dealt with him, man, in visions. Today it is a major religious pilgrimage site featuring the Cave of the Apocalypse, the Monastery of St. John, the Theologian, all right? So Isle of Patmos is basically, let me get it on a map, okay? It's out there, all right? And it's wild. I want to get a map like up top, the water, right here, booyah, perfect, okay? Out there in the middle, all right? Out there in the middle of the sea, the Mediterranean. So the Isle of Patmos. So this is where John was at. He was exiled there, okay, in his 90s. Now, prophesying to many nations, many kingdoms. Did he do that as John the Revelator? No. Okay? He had to be regenerated, reincarnated to come back. And most definitely John the Revelator is certainly back today doing that. Daniel is back today doing that because the scriptures stated that they would be back. All right? So the Father is not a liar. So once again, this and okay, you ask yourself, be like this. Once I leave this place, I don't want to come back. Yeah, that may be your mindset. All right? But this is not of you. But I know it as Daniel, as Ezra, as Daniel. Let's look at Daniel. You mean I got to go back? They going to throw me in some more lions dens? I got to go back. I got to go back and deal with these people. I got to go back. Moses, King David, like I got to go back and deal with these complaining ass Israelites. I got to go back. This is not of you. We have to go back, man. Yeah, if it was up to me, I would be sleeping right now too. Because when we telling our brothers and sisters the truth, this dude coming here talking about, no, that's false, brother. What are you talking about? Man, come on, bro. But we got to deal with it. It's vexation. I hate to see our people not getting it. I hate to see it, man. But we understand that spirit of slumber is heavy in the atmosphere, you know? And as we progress in these last days, in this time period, the fall of Esau, Edom's kingdom, you know, the spirit of slumber is going to be heavier on these people because it's not of you. It's of the Most High. His will is to destroy this wicked kingdom. All right. Now we're going to begin to wrap up. Let's go to Amos, the 8th chapter, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahawah power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahawah. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahawah, and shall not find it. So this is coming, man, right? Where you're going to be wanting to seek the word of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, but you're not going to find it. Yo, where them brothers at that be preaching? You won't be able to find them. You're going to seek. From sea to sea means from people to people. You're going to, hey, is any of those Israelites over here? Nah. Israelites over here? Nah. Israelites over, nah. Man, where them Israelites at? Guess what? We going to be gone, man. We going to be in our house, shut up, not saying nothing. Because, and why? What's the only reason we would do that? Because this prophecy is going to pass. And what's also going to pass? Us not being allowed to teach on the internet. You think I'm lying? China just passed that you can't online preach anymore. You can't teach online or in streets. Okay? That's coming to America. All right? It's similar in the UK. These things are coming. These things are this transitional period where the Bible is being phased out. And you're going to see digital religions. All right? Look, the brother said a year-old was just given life for owning a Bible, a 2-year-old. All right? I'm going to have to look that up, man. We might have to do a lesson on that. That's wild. Okay? But what you're about to see is, hey, I went out on the streets yesterday. That right there is going to be not happening anymore. Okay? The brother said in China. So they ain't playing over there. So that famine of the word, hey, you better get it while the getting is good. You better get this word while you can. Because when these things come to pass, you will not be able to get anything no more. All right? Now, hey, that's my time, man. I just got that puzzle piece. So that's pretty much the lesson. Once again, this is not of you. It's no such thing as free will. If you didn't get nothing out of this lesson, I hope you understand that. It's no such thing as free will. Just pray, fast, and hope and pray, once again, pray to the Most High Yahawah and the Son Yahawashi that he continues to deal with you or that he deals with you. You know, that's all you can do. Okay? So with that being said, at this point in time, I'll take any type of questions that anybody may have. All right. And let me see. I got about 20 minutes, man. If anybody want to come up. All right. But if no questions or nothing, I'm going to get up out of here. All right. And hey, Shalawam, King Riz, is Shalawam or Shalom, bro? Ain't no O in the Hebrew. Okay? Hey, Shalawam, Bahasham, Yahawashi.
Shalawam, Bahasham, Barak. Yeah, I had put that 2-year-old, he was in China, and they gave that little boy life in prison for owning the Bible.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Dang. Like, how you gonna put a baby? That's like my daughter too. Like, put my daughter in prison?
For life.
Nah, we got to fight, bro. Nah, we got to fight. That ain't happening, huh? That's a lesson, though.
They think that y'all playing. Hey, Esau ain't playing with y'all, man.
What did we talk about a couple days ago? Draconian laws. That is the form of a draconian law. A law that's extremely cruel and extremely, that's not common sense, man. A 2-year-old, bro? Come on, man.
Some of you jakes want to trust in Babylon. Yeah, I'd see if y'all were on the Titanic and y'all saw that iceberg, you say, I'm staying right here. Yeah, you want to get off this motherfucker before this bitch blow the hell up. Literally.
Yep.
This bad boy gonna be blown off the map, but y'all want to stay here and what? Stay under the oppression of the boot of your oppressor? Live in ghettos?
I think it feel good to them. It feel good to get that whip to their back sometimes, I guess.
You want to look at your neighbor and say, I'd rather run up in his spot than work and get my own? That's what y'all like doing? Going back to jail? Making babies that you don't father or mother correctly?
Mm-hmm. They products of Esau Edom. You know, this is what you see right now is what the YT man wanted you to be. All right? With your sexy reds and your Cardi B's, your Megan Thee Stallions, your little babies, your young thugs, your futures. The YT man sitting back laughing at y'all. Look, I got them all drinking lean and I got them all. He got y'all ass, man. You know, and we sit back and look at it like it's prophecy. Your daughter shall be harlots in the streets. It's prophecy.
They bought it hook, line, and sinker. These individuals talking about all the single ladies and who run the world, girls, and all this other dumb shit that they put in the music, and then they go right home and serve their man. That dude also put it on the internet in front of y'all face to say, see, look what Cardi B doing. She rap about she don't cook or no and she don't clean, but what is she doing right now? Sweeping up the kitchen. How dumb y'all gotta be, boy.
And Free Brew, yeah. These are those Israelites that was complaining and murmuring back in the time of Moses. Most definitely. These are those same Israelites that was in the house of Saul, that tried to fight against King David, that followed behind Saul. These are those same Israelites that worship Baal, all right, in the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, that worshiped all these false gods. Those same individuals, man, back in those lots, doing what they used to do, what they're accustomed to do. It comes natural to them because they've done it before. They're like, oh, worship a false god. Oh, yeah, that's right up my alley. Give me a false god. I'm ready for that. But when they supposed to worship Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, they don't know how to. They take that name as some type of foreign language. Y'all talking that Hebrew? What is that? That Hebrew? Come on, man. And this ain't nothing to laugh about, black man ruling. All right? First of all, ain't none of us BLK. Okay? That's a whole nother term. That's a whole nother alley to go down. If you don't know that you are Israelite by this point, it's 2025, man. And you don't know you are Israelite? What you been doing, bro? Where you been at? Under a rock?
This ain't a secret no more. The cat's out the bag. Hey, everybody know. Even these people in these slave plantation Christian church houses know. Some of them don't care. They want to fall back on good old Jesus and plead it on the blood, thinking that you can just come into being a Hebrew Israelite just like being a Christian. Nah, it don't work that way.
Free brew, we ain't no damn indigenous either. Where we come from? Where we come from, bro? We ain't indigenous to America. This is known as the fourth land. This is known as the far land, Osiris, a foreign land.
A land where never mankind dwelt.
We traveled over here. You know? So now we not from everywhere. All right? Our homeland is Israel. That's what we own. You know? So keep that in mind. Okay? Where those small hats are right now, they claiming our land, they living over there, they claiming to be us. That's our land. All right? Was Gad in Texas? Yeah, Gad was all over America. Gad is what you know as the Native Americans, such as Cherokee, Blackfoot, Creek, Mississippians, all of those, except Seminoles. Seminoles is known as Reuben. But yeah, Gad was predominantly in North America, America and Canada. All right. But Shalawam to Taha, unorthodox.
Peace, brother. How you doing? Yo, so what about the entire Earth then? Like, I hear you guys talk about a specific part of the Earth, but what about the entire Earth? Like, you know, who are indigenous to the planet?
Bro, everybody indigenous to the planet.
So why you only focused on a piece of the planet then?
Okay, understanding this. When Noah, landed on Mount Ararat, which is in Turkey, okay, after the flood, lands were divided. You had the land of Ham, which is what y'all now today call Africa. That was the land of Ham. You have the land of Japheth, which is what you call Europe and Russia. All right, the north, that was the land of Japheth. And then you had the land of Shem, which is what you call today Asia. All right, or some call Middle East. It's not real, it's really all Asia. All right. So those lands were divided. And then as they went forth and had, generations and kids, then you would have furthermore division, such as the land of Cush, land of Mizraim, which is Egypt. They would have their land of Phut, and the land of and what's the fourth Hamite nation? I'm tripping. Cush, Canaan. Oh, Canaan. The land of Canaan, which would be Israel. That would be, but that would be given to us. That land. All right. So
Okay.
and then furthermore, you would have like you would have Aram, you would have Matter of fact, let me get a table of nations, man. Because you have 18 nations on this planet according to the scriptures. Now,
Mm-hmm.
all these nations have a dedicated land that the Father bestowed upon them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in the kingdom, right, after our king Yahawashi come back and he takes the crowns off of every single king on this planet, we're going to reign for 1,000 years and they're going to be subject to us under servitude, servants, handmaids, bondmen, all of that, right? Then at the end of that 1,000-year reign, it's going to be followed by another 1,000-year reign and another reign. We're going to reign forever, Israelites. But at the end of that 1,000-year reign, these heathen nations will be allowed to go back into their lands that they were given. And they will have the laws, commandments, and statutes. They will have the proper understanding.
Yeah, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17 and verse 17, going into what the brother said. It says, for in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is Yahawah's portion.
Okay.
And let me get this in Isaiah 14 real quick. Isaiah 14 was that 16? 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. So these kings of these certain nations, like a Nimrod, that was a king. He was a king. He came from Cush. Nimrod was Cush. He was a king. He was a wicked ass king, but he was a king. All right, he will be established again. You know, another king would be like what's another king? King Og, right? Of the Philistines. No, he Moab, I believe. So you have these other kings, you know what I'm saying? Kings of different nations. But they will still be subjective under the Israelites. All right. So these kings, all the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But the nation of Edom, which is the YT man, which is set up for destruction, will be destroyed at the end of that 1,000-year reign. So this is the
Oh,
nation
okay.
that is set up for destruction, and us
Mm-hmm.
Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are set up for salvation.
So Edomites, are they Hebrews?
Yeah, they're Hebrews.
So why would they be set up for destruction? Like, why are we so divided amongst each other as humans? I don't get that part.
Okay, let's go to Genesis 25th chapter. It's all prophecy. Genesis 25, and let's start at 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahawah, and Yahawah said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Now those 2 nations was the nation of Israel and the nation of Edom, the nation of Yasharahla, and the nation of Adawam. All right, so the nation of Edom, which is the YT man, and the nation of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So those were those 2 nations that was in her womb. And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now we are stronger than them. You can see it in the sports. You can see it in the inventions, the swag, the style, the food. Everything we do is better than them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, keeping it going down to verse 25. Well, actually it's 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. That's the so-called YT man. That's the patriarch of their nation. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. So Esau is the so-called YT man. He came out red, meaning that you could see his blood through his skin, like a YT individual when they blush up, when they get mad or whatever it may be. All right. And Jacob was the same color as everybody else on the planet at that point in time, which was brown skin. All right. Everybody was brown skin at one point in time. Now, that for that prophecy to be fulfilled, you had to have one nation be stronger than the other, and that division. All right. Now, furthermore, let's go to Genesis 27, and let's go down to 40. Matter of fact, 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Now, Jacob was given a blessing that he would rule over everybody. He would rule the earth. All right. He would rule over Esau, all these other nations. Okay. And Isaac,
Mhm.
and then Esau, but that was supposed to be Esau's blessing, but it really wasn't, because if we go back to Genesis 25, Esau gave that blessing away to Jacob for a bowl of meat, some soup. This is the type of individual this guy is. All right, verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Now we see that today with Esau ruling by the sword. And the sword is military might, military strength. This is how Esau rules the world, through military, through that sword. Nuclear weapons, right? Tanks, planes, etc., etc. Okay? So that blessing that he was given has come to pass. 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Now, that right there is forever. That's perpetual. That nation hates our nation forever. It's perpetual. And then you can find that in Amos 1 and 11. So, to answer your question about the division, it was set up to be like that. That's just how it's supposed to be, man. The wicked is the nation of Edom, and we are the righteous, the nation of Israelites. The Israelites, Yasharahla, the princes of the power. We are the sons of God.
Okay. So what about Osiris and Set? Didn't they have a similar story?
Yeah, that's false God. That's false God mess.
Okay.
Those
What ab- what
those
ab-
those individuals
what?
didn't really exist.
Okay. Yeah. What about Hold on a second.
Who is this? Rich Loaded. Good to hear that, bro. You say every time I see you live, little voice tell me to listen every time. Learn a lot. I'm nothing but 22. Well, hey, man, follow, come through, man. Every time I'm live, just come through. All right, on YouTube page in the bio. All right, if you miss a lesson, I put all the lessons on the YouTube. Okay. Come on. T Young. Asians are not Japhetic. Asians are Shemitic. They come from the lineage of Shem. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Taha. Taha.
Yeah. So you said that those stories, those people weren't real. So I'm glad that you said that because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go, brother. So I'm glad that you said that because 1,000 years from now, that's going to be the same story. People are going to hear about biblical narratives and say, "Oh, that was just a myth," because there was nothing here today that exists to prove anything that we are all trying to discover to be true. So 1,000 years from now, everything that you're talking about, everything that many people online are talking about, is going to be considered a myth because there's nothing to actually support it, and they're going to be observing a different belief system. The same way you believe that the Egyptian Osiris and Set, those weren't real. That's what people
I can guarantee you 1,000 years from now, everybody's gonna be worshiping Yahawashi.
Yeah, bro. Hey, man, look. What's your name? Taha? Look, bro. Don't come up here and waste my fucking time, man. If you don't believe, you don't believe. Don't even come up here. Get out of here, dog. What's wrong with this guy?
It's 100% for a fact to be true that 1,000 years from now, everyone will be worshiping Yahawashi. Whether you Esau, well, I don't know, Esau, he's not gonna do right, but your Moab, Ammon, Elam, Canaan, Phut, Mitzrayim, and whoever you are, Gomer, whoever, you're gonna be worshiping Yahawashi. And that's from Isaiah 66. What verse is it? I ain't got it offhand. 23.
Oh, yeah, 23. 23. Yep. I get it for you. Isaiah 66 and 23. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahawah." So, hey, come with that understanding you want to, man. Nobody's going to be, yeah, you going to see. All right? Your belief system ain't even set up right. All right? We'll take a couple more bug outs because it seems that's all that's in the comments right now. So if you bugging out, y'all tripping. All right, addressing this comment, T Young, back to you. You said Shem isn't Asian. Okay, well, you have no understanding because the Asians, Moab and Ammon, come through the lineage of Shem. They're Shemitic. All right, they're Hebrews as well because they come from Lot. Lot was a Hebrew. Okay, so you have to twist that around, man. Asians are Shemitic, and they are indeed Hebrews, okay? But they are not Israelites. So they are not of the chosen lineage. They are not of the chosen nation, but they are Shemitic. They are Hebrews, all right? Just like Ishmael, Arabs are Hebrews, but they're not Israelites. They come from Abraham, but they're not Israelites. They're not of the chosen nation. Okay? Okay, if you disagree with the chart, then let me block you. Thank you. We're not here to debate. We're not here to go back and forth. Now, if you have a sincere question or, you're confused on something, then you can ask it. We will answer it. Or you can come up and we will, have a fruitful conversation with you. But I'm not here to go back and forth. I don't know, he say, she say, or nothing like that, man. We're going to bring out the scriptures and we're going to show it to you. And that's how we getting down, man. We're going to let the Lord's word speak. All right?
To into that mindset where if you're having a discussion, it's a debate. I simply corrected a Jake on the comment board, and he told me that he was told not to debate with a fool or debate with a fool in his folly, something along those lines. And I was like, well, if you thought this was a debate, that just shows how foolish you are. I just merely corrected you, and you think we're having some sort of back and forward. I don't go back and forth with dry bones. That's not what I'm going to do. I give you the correction, and if you agree, you agree. We can move on. If you don't, I'll see you later.
That's it. The scriptures say, cast not your pearls onto swine. So, as it says, Titus 3 and 10, man, 2 admonitions. All right. We saw this dude, what was his name? Taha. He couldn't get it after 2 chances. So I had to let him go. He was wasting our time. And he showed that he had no faith. He didn't believe. Okay? When look around the earth, you talking about 1,000 years from now. If you actually knew the plans of the YT man, bro, he wants to destroy everything on earth, go into a bunker, and come back out when it's okay to live again. That's his plan. So you're talking about this guy. You're man. That's why, bro, when you ain't got this scripture, when you ain't got the truth, your whole household will suffer. You're going to unalive, and your kids that you might have brought forth on this planet, they going through with your belief. Oh, yeah, Pop said America going to continue forever. We ain't got to worry about nothing. Then you see them nukes in the sky. And all you gonna Pops lied to us. Pops was wrong.
If you understood what we are in biblical prophecy, man, you wouldn't be talking that 1,000 years from now trash, boy. You know we in end time prophecy right now. And I know people, well, not people. I know Christians have been saying Jesus can come back any day now, but they don't understand prophecy. It
That
was
man said,
prophesied that the Israelites were going to wake up in the land of their captivity. We've been doing that. Our elders been going at this for 40 plus years. And their elders been going at it for longer than that. Some of them in the spirit realm right now. I mean, we it's prophesied that the MOTB is supposed to get here. That's the RFID micro C hip. We see that's out there. World War III. We see what's going on over there. I mean, it's time, bro.
God, that dude said 1,000 years. Nigga, you gotta worry about 1,000 days. You might not even be here in 1,000 days. Alright? That's what is that? Roughly 3 years and a couple months. Okay? You most likely not gonna be here. Alright? America ain't really got that long, man. This is what we talking about. You got WW3 on the fritz. You got Civil War, tensions rising in America. You got DJT sending in ICE everywhere, DHS everywhere, Border Patrol everywhere. And you talking about 1,000 years? No. This is what the scriptures talked about in Isaiah 19 chapter, man. That cruel Lord coming down on y'all. Egyptians upon Egyptians. These guys, man, they just ain't got the spirit of prophecy.
Which is the testimony of Yahawashi. And the devil come down on those who keep the commandments of Yahawah and the testimony of Yahawashi. You have to do both. Which the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. So you have to go into the prophecies and you have to keep the commandments. Most camps only want to focus on the one, but don't focus on the other.
So hey, anybody got any type of questions, man, before we wrap it up? Pertaining to anything biblical or health-wise or whatever it may be. The brother said, I really think the image of the beast is the white. No. Is the whitewashed religion of Christianity. Any thoughts? All right. No, that's not it. Okay. Image means likeness, ways. Okay. Yeah. Christianity is a part of it, but you could be an atheist and still worship the image of the beast. Okay. His ways, his ways, his likeness, the things that he places upon you. All right. So let's say you don't do Christmas, you don't do Valentine's Day, you don't do none of that, but you do you eat pork. You know what I'm saying? You still going off. You still carrying out his ways, his likeness, his actions. Okay? So it's not Christianity. Christianity is a part of it though. That's a major part. But also is Islam. The YT man created Islam as well. All right? Any of these false religions. So it's not just, Christianity. It's if you partaking in this Babylonian system, and I'm glad a brother said the C-hip, the MOTB, because that is a major part of it, right? So if you take that C-hip in your right hand or your forehead or whatever, let's say you put it in your knee, you still took it, all right? You're going to have to need that to buy or sell, okay? According to Revelations 13, 16, 17, 18. And that will be mandatory upon this entire planet. That's what we know is the hour of temptation, where they will come forth and make it mandatory for you to get an RFID C-hip in your body to track you. That will be the way you will buy food, pay for appointments, whatever it be, man. All right, this is what we're talking about. So keep that in your mind, keep that in the back of your mind, and do not take that C-hip, man. All right. Now, once again, any questions? I'm gonna take that as no, and we're gonna get up out of here. I'm about to go beat up these kids.
Yeah, get him with that rock bottom, cuz.
You hear him in there? Can you hear him?
Fine.
Let me hold up, man.
Hey, we're gonna take a short intermission.
Oh man, he gonna feel that in the morning, man. All right, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all ain't got no questions, man. The brother said, okay, how do you keep track of the high holy days? Good question, bro. Good question. Woo! I'm telling you, I'm tired. All right, how do you keep track of the high holy days? Okay, perfect. Let's go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So, Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, laws of religious festivals. Now, almost every high holy day is right here. But let's see if anybody in here in the comment board know what high holy day is not in here. What high holy day is not in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter? Does anybody know?
I was gonna say it.
Nah, you can't say it. I am. You should know. Shalawam, bro. What high holy day is not in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter? It's actually a couple, if we being honest. But I'm thinking about a major one.
You still sound winded, dog.
Man. What the heck is the Sakat? What is a? I don't know what that is. I looked that up. It said it's a. I am. No, the Day of Atonement is in Leviticus. This dude I am don't read his Bible, bro. Man, I'm about to tell Elder to suspend your ass. This man said the Day of Atonement ain't in Leviticus the 23rd chapter.
Dang.
What is you talking about, bro? You sure
That's
you
crazy,
be going
man.
out? You sure you be going out preaching on the street?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask that. Don't he go on the street?
Yeah, that man said.
He said, not in Leviticus 23rd chapter.
Didn't we just keep the Day of Atonement?
He's talking about the Feast of Tents.
You talking about the Feast of Tabernacles? We doing the Feast of Tabernacles right now. I believe he's talking about the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Tents. But no, that's in here. Ain't nobody getting it. I am. You want to try again? No, the Feast of Tabernacles is in here. Right here. All right. Shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahawah. Y'all, sit down. For real. Hold up, Kakuma. We in the Feast of Tabernacles, and this brother said the Feast of Tabernacles ain't in Leviticus 23rd chapter. So that means he ain't even read up on it when we doing it.
Yeah, you had need for one to teach you again.
Yeah, bro. What the hell is you doing over there? We in the Feast of Tabernacles right now, but you ain't read about it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
go on the street and teach everybody not to keep the Feast of Tabernacle.
It kind of fishy over there. No, Yakanana, no. A feast, a high holy day. What high holy day is, man, I feel like we doing a damn pop quiz right now. What high holy day is not in here that you supposed to keep? That girl done said Easter and Christmas. I hope you ain't keeping no damn Easter and Christmas. I pray you not. That them shits ain't no high holy days. Ah, man.
Well, I guess they don't know. All right? You gotta tell them.
I feel like I'm a bad teacher. It's like, okay, the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, right here, man. And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of Dedication, and it was winter. John 10 and 22. All right, come on. Where can you find it? Next question. Where can you find the Feast of Dedication? And I'm gonna get back to you. Name Loke. I got you, man. Salakia. It's taking forever, but we gonna answer your question. Where can you find the Feast of Dedication? You could just give me the book. You don't even gotta give me the chapter. Where can you find the Feast of Dedication? Other than John, where can you find it? I am. You should know this, bro. You say you follow Great Millstone. You should know this. Bro, Brocab Malone would have a field day with this man. He would cut this nigga up. Salakia.
Hey, let the precepts talk and cut that nigga up.
Yeah, let the precepts talk. Yeah, he want to talk to you. Oh, man. That man said Ezra. It's not in Ezra? How could it be in Ezra when it didn't happen yet? Yes, there you go. Second Maccabees. Okay. I don't know why you said Ezra, because it didn't happen yet. Ezra, the time of Esdras happened about, 200 years before the Maccabean period happened. All right? Esdras was around the time of Nehemiah. He said Ezra, he said that with ultimate confidence. Ezra,
yeah, he would just naming books and hoping one would stick.
It's in Ezra. I saw it in there in chapter 17. Bro, you gotta get on your shit.
Are you sure it's not Leviticus 23rd chapter? Go ahead, read it again. It's got to be in there.
It's gotta be in there. Alright, so that comes with knowing where stuff is. Because most high holy days, feast days are in Leviticus the 23rd chapter, but not the Feast of Dedication, not the Feast of Purim, not that one feast that they had. It's another feast in Second Maccabees after that battle, but brothers really don't keep it like
the Nicanor.
Yeah, the Nicanor, yeah, Khan. That's also in Maccabees as well, right? That's not in Leviticus the 23rd chapter. And the reason why is because these things did not happen yet. So they wouldn't be in Leviticus the 23rd chapter. Like Feast of Purim didn't happen. That happened during Esther's time. That didn't happen back during Moses' time, So these things were added. You have feast days that were added as things went on. Okay? Now, let's go to Psalms 81 and 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed, or on our solemn feast day. So the new moon is blown on our solemn feast day, on the Sabbath. New moon brings in a new month. Okay? Understanding that. New moon signifies a new month. New month. So I'm going to go to my calendar real quick. Tomorrow is the Shabbat, the 12th. 12 to 13. Okay? The new moon fell on September 21st. All right? Now, September 21st was also, let's see if I am know this. I am. What was September 21st? What feast day was that? Hey, Shalawam, free brew. Hey, just tap in, bro. When you got time, man. I'll be live tomorrow, most definitely. All right. I am. What was September 21st? That boy that said the Day of Atonement. I'm a terrible teacher, ain't I? I'm trash. I guess. This man said the Day of Atonement. Man, come up here, bro. If Alliance was here, bro, he'd be on that man's head. You can't come up here? I guess not. But it was not the Day of Atonement. And this right now, your spirit is showing that you ain't been keeping shit. September 21st was not the Day of Atonement. It was the what? The Feast of Trumpets. Let's go back to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Right here. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall you have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahawah. It was the Feast of Trumpets. All right. Now the Day of Atonement would follow. When? Let's read it. And Yahawah spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahawah. I'm not even going to ask you this question no more. You need to study up more on the high holy days. Bro, every single high holy day, I did a live before that high holy day. We announced it. It's literally, but hey, maybe you didn't see him. I can't act like you saw him. Maybe you didn't see him. It's literally on the Sabbath page where I announce everything. This is a cheat sheet. Okay? You had the Feast of Trumpets. Boom. All right? Also with the new moon. Because September 21st was the new moon. Feast of Trumpets. Synonymous. Same day. Same Sabbath. Then you would have a Sabbath 6 days after that. Or, on that 8th day of the month. Then on that 9th day, or that 10th day, but it's the 9th day because you started on that night, going into that 10th, you would have the Day of Atonement. So that would be September, what? September 30th. As you can see, September 30th. All right? September 30th was the Day of Atonement. Okay? Then you would have the full moon, Shabbat. All right? Then you would have the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay? Which just came in. And we're about to exit it. All right, that's for 8 days. Tomorrow is the Shabbat. Tonight is not the Shabbat, dude. All right, man. Hey, yo, you can come up, bro, cause you got an issue.
To get blocked.
But yeah, I am. You need to study more. Now, back to name Loke. So the new moon comes in. You know, if it's and this, it will be the new moon right here. So I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna do it like this to make it easy. Okay, new moon. Boom. It's also a Shabbat. Boom. Right. So that's from that night to this night. Okay. So evening to evening. Then on that night, it would be considered a working day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 working days. Then you would have a Sabbath. This will be the first quarter Shabbat. First quarter Sabbath. All right. First quarter Shabbat. Then what? Boom, boom. Evening to evening. As you can see, Day of Atonement, September 30th, came in perfectly. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Then you would have another what? Another Shabbat. That would be the full moon Shabbat. Hey, mute up, bro. So full moon. I just put full moon Shabbat. All right. And that would also bring in the what? The Feast of Tabernacles. So from this day to this day. So matter of fact, might as well put it. Feast of Tab. All right, boom. And then put it over here. Feast of Tab in. Boom. But this is also a what? Third quarter Shabbat. Okay? So Shabbat fell on Sunday to Monday this month. So we are in the Feast of Tabernacles for 8 days.
You can't even pronounce tabernacle right. You absolute goofball. Tabernacle.
What is wrong with this guy? What the hell?
Devil come out of him, boy. Hey.
What the hell? What is... Bro, I'm from the South, bro. I ain't used to that type of energy now. I ain't used to that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, help him. Okay. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days. All right. Then you're going to have one more Shabbat over here. This will be the last Shabbat. Booyah, of the month. Now, the new moon would come in either this day or this day. Now, let's look up when the new moon comes in. New moon, October. And it says new moon October comes in October 21st at 8:25 a.m. Now, October 21st, right here, 8:25 a.m. So, pretty much in between this day and this day. So, this would be the new moon Shabbat, October 20th. So, the month would change. New moon Shabbat, right? Boom. Save. Okay? So the Sabbath would change from Sunday to Monday to Monday to Tuesday. Monday to Tuesday. So then, going into, because we don't keep it according to the Gregorian calendar. We keep it according to the new moon. Psalms 81:3, Sirach 43, 6 through 8, etc., etc. So boom, new moon, and then first quarter moon, full moon, third quarter moon, last Sabbath, and then it's going to change, and et cetera, et cetera. And it just goes on and on and on. All right. Now, feast days would line up when they line up according to the month that you're in. So I hope, that was I hope you understood that. I hope it was edifying to you, if not though, I gotta you could go on here, man. I do a more thorough breakdown of it on the Sabbath page, Everlasting Mercy 144. On TikTok, Everlasting Mercy 144. It's a more in-depth breakdown of it with the calendar, so it's more visual, right? If you didn't really understand what I broke it down as, or how it was broken down, okay? But the holy days will follow. We are moving into the 8th month. All right, cool. Fully edifying. All right, great. So, hey, the water, the water Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, where's Mr. Immature? Where did he go?
He ran.
He left? Okay, Mr. Immature is gone, so that's cool. We don't got to deal with him.
Oh, you can't pronounce the
Yo,
barnacle.
I literally thought that was a sheep. I thought it was a sheep, bro. I was like, oh, he might be on a farm or something. But that was him. I was like, what the fuck is that?
That damn devil come out of him, boy. He couldn't shut it up.
Elijah. All right, yeah. Hey, next time you see him, block him, man. Block him.
He had actually left and then came back. I asked him why he come back. He said, this abomination came up on my For You page. A bunch of shit come up on my For You page. All I do is scroll.
God, just keep going. That's wild.
I mean, he could even block this man, but he decided to act like a,
He probably watching from the outside, It's all good, man. One day you're going to be a real man, regardless if it be on this side of the timeline or in the kingdom, man. All right? You're going to learn how to talk to people with respect. All right?
And you best to pray to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi that you are not an Edomite.
Mm-hmm. Now, he sound like a Jake, though. But I have to try the spirit. But all right, man, good questions. Hey, I'm going to get up out of here for real this time, because ain't nobody asked no other questions. So, hey, the water bro for coming up, holding it down. All right. I am. Yeah, man. You need to get on your shit, bro. All right. That was, it's not acceptable. That shit ain't good. You gotta get on your shit. All right. And man, just instead of guessing, because this boy done said day of a feast of dedication is in Ezra. Yeah, instead of guessing, bro, just say you don't know, man. All right. But hey, facing the east, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and sincerely taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. As always, Kwam Yasharahla and a Bible bar to this wicked kingdom. May Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi destroy this bitch yesterday. All right, I pray that this was an edifying live for everybody that attended. Hey, the water for coming up and supporting. The water for all the precepts. And the water for the questions and everything. All right. I see my Tazakbach down there. Hey, Shalawam, bro. All right. So, hey, man, I'm going to get up out of here, And y'all got it, man. Shalawam, bro. See you tomorrow. Your Lord willing. Yahawah Tazah.
Shalawam.
Shalawam.